Through trials tough and secrets told, in frost or flames, in heat or cold, he battles on with steel and might. In darkest depths he finds the light. Oh, every quest you brave the souls, crossing valleys, climbing stones. In this grand world from dawn till dusk, you complete the quest, 'cause in you we trust.
Step into the magic realm tonight. Leave your worries at the door, it's light. Every quest is here to guide your flight. In Norrath, where we'll all unite. Welcome to the show, come have some fun. Leave it all behind, watch the pixels run. Press start and let your journey begin. Norrath's secrets waiting to be seen. Grab your gear and pack a smile or two. Dragons and quests await you. Chat and cheer, our community's true. Together in this stream we'll break through. Welcome to the show, come have some fun. Leave it all behind, watch the pixels run. Press start and let your journey begin. Norrath's secrets waiting to be seen. Every quest calling heroes far and wide. Escape the grind, let your spirit ride. Here we laugh and conquer side by side. In this virtual land we'll all confide. Welcome to the show, come have some fun. Leave it all behind, watch the pixels run. Press start and let your journey begin. Norrath's secrets waiting to be seen. Welcome to the show, come have some fun. Leave it all behind, watch the pixels run. Press start and let your journey begin. Norrath's secrets waiting to be seen. Be seen. Be seen. Be seen. Be seen.
Wow, good morning. Yeah, I was trying to get my overlay working here this morning. So I started using this overlay last time that I streamed, and I had just a quest completion thing going, but then today I had this heritage quest, the first one. We haven't had a heritage quest before, so if you're new to EverQuest II, heritage quests tend to be longer, and they're based on the lore and items, some of the better items. It's my understanding. I never played EverQuest 1, but some of the better items in EverQuest 1. And the first one, is called In Honor and Service, and you complete it to earn the Dwarvish tunic. Dwarvish ringmail tunic. So, don't know a lot about it. I think I've done the quest maybe one time. It's a level 19 heritage quest, so it's one that comes on pretty early. And it was also introduced after many people were well beyond level 19. So, I think it was introduced back in 2010, something like that. So it didn't release with the game. It released with an update. Yeah, I think that I got to just check my volume. I'm making some major audio changes. And I have a couple more to make. But one of the problems I'm dealing with is that my microphone is bleeding into my gameplay. So if I say something fairly loud, then I can hear it twice. Like a reverbish sort of thing. But that's just shopkeeping talk. So we're going to try this today. These are the steps that you can see in the Dwarvish ringmail tunic. I checked them a couple times. Hopefully they're right. Obviously, I'll just use the quest updater. But this is more of a visual for anybody hopping in or walking away and coming back and just kind of seeing what our progress was. Not sure how long the stream will have to be then, because the whole plan was to do this. Now, the one thing I am going to do differently is I'm going to turn on my experience, which I hadn't been doing. My plan is to go to level 25 and then get into Stormhold. I do believe there's a few things in Stormhold that I can't do because, well, I'm not being offered them because I'm not quite a high enough level. Things like Stormhold and Nectulos Forest, and so therefore probably Thundering Steps, is some of the content is not offered until you're a little bit more than 22, which I'm sitting at right now, level 22. So I don't know that I'll get a ton of experience because I am slightly above the what they're requiring. But anyway, that was my thought, that I would that I'm just staring at my screen because I want to make sure disable combat experience, disable quest experience, disable character bonus experience. So it looks like I was working on leveling up. It's been a few days. I didn't stream yesterday, and it's really kind of throwing me off because I was kind of in this groove where I was streaming once or twice a day, and that's just the way things were. And it was just, like brushing your teeth or anything else. You just did it. And then we're moving my son right now. And that's taking some of our time. So here I am flying. I actually have to go to Greater Fadar to begin this. This is the part where I get nervous because if I don't do it fast enough, I look like I don't know what I'm... And it's right. It's in town somewhere. We'll know because it'll be a purple. Purple glowy. New players. It's if you see a quest feather that has a purple glow to it, then it's a heritage quest or a signature quest. Green glowy means it's a trade skill quest. Yellow glowy means it's a regular one. And then gray glowy means one of two things. It could mean that it's well below your level. Or, excuse me, I swallow a lot when I stream. I got a lot of air in my system. This reminds me of a lesson that I did one day. I had taught for 35 years, and then 34 years, and then I had a I started substitute teaching in a completely different school district. And one of the teachers who was like a mentor teacher or a coach, which is cool. I love the school district that has some coaches in it because they specialize in math or English and language arts. And because they understand, like as elementary teachers, you didn't specialize in anything. You just specialized in understanding students of that age, motivating them, building relationships, how to build knowledge on previous knowledge, those sorts of things. But at the high school level, you dig into a topic and you dig into it very deeply for a deep understanding. And so a lot of the districts now are bringing in these coaches, and they work directly with teachers. And they call them coaches because if they're administration, it sounds a little bit more intimidating. And so the whole idea is to relax and get better without being judged, right? It's more like holding up a mirror to them. Boy, this is really getting in deep, and you guys aren't teachers, so you don't care. But anyway, this experience, the way I'm starting out right now, is reminding me of how I started off when the coach came in the first time to look at me do a phonics lesson, and I had never taught phonics in my entire life. I was like, "Arr." So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get us the waypoint. Okay. I did the waypoint. I see an arrow, but I don't see where it's pointing to. All right, now I see. I'm pointing in this direction, but it's way off my screen. Sometimes when a waypoint is off of your screen, the arrow gets hidden. Now there's an X marks the spot up there if you notice it. Again, I'm talking to you like you don't play this game, but I never know who might pop in, and we want this accessible to as many people as possible. So there's the purple that we promised. Now, there's a lot of dialogue here, and there's like 23 steps. So we'll see how this goes. I do like to try to dig in the best I can into the lore of the game without being a lore. So a lore, like a lore head. And so my idea is that I want to consume all the content that they have created, and I'll consume it in a casual, like a relaxed atmosphere. Is that a guard? I got to be careful. Not aggro to me, though. Okay. Because I'm on the evil persuasion right now, and this area is the goody two shoes people. Now, we were friendly at one point because in the course of doing all of the quests, I do have to betray a couple times so I can get all the, when you go from good to evil, you have a bunch of quests to prove your loyalty. And so, and there's also quests that are gated behind your alignment. So if I want to do all of the quests, I do have to do like evil things and good things and bounce back and forth as the game progresses so that I can do as many as possible at level. And boy, am I talking a lot today. So we're going to talk to Captain Iron Toe right here of the Iron Toe Brigade. And there's a lot of lore here and many different conversation paths. So I will be referring to a guide off screen which is why I'm looking over there, so that we don't have to have any redundancy in our dialogue, since it's going to be long anyway. Bah. How does a dwarf feel at home with a canopy of leaves and not one stone? It's so interesting, right? So you think of dwarves, you think of people with like hammers and forges and such, and he's stuck in this place full of trees, and you can see in the distance there's plenty of rocks too, but I have to ask him who he is first. I am Captain R.K. Irontoe, commanding officer of Greater Fadark operations for the Iron Toe Brigade, Sons of Caladim, All raise your milk for the past glory of Caladim. Seems odd that he would. Can you imagine a dwarf raising a tankard of milk? Now, they don't really tell me what to say yet. The first thing I have to ask is, what did Caladim do during the War of Fae? So I'm just going to say that I would like to hear about it. Caladim has endured a lot of pain since the War of the Fae. It has stood even after the Grand March removed most of its defenders. It endured the titanic quakes in the Age of Cataclysms, and for what? To see Cerulean horde occupy its majestic halls? Trying to move this around for you, but it's linked to the middle of my screen. But because of where the camera is, it looks like I'm looking way down off to the side, and I would like it to be a little bit closer to you guys. You could feel like we had some kind of interaction. But anyway, that's inside baseball. We need to move on. All right, so what did Caladim do during the War of the Fae? During the Great War, the brigades of the Storm Guard marched from the gates of Caladim to the forest of Keladin, where the Nereac alliance was raising the realm of the elves. The dwarven army met great resistance from troll and ogre units with the lesser Fadark, but nothing could keep us from reaching the besieged Tree City. What were the trolls and ogres doing? The Dark Elf generals sent their brigades of monsters to halt the march of the dwarven armies there. They knew that they would come to the rescue of our elven brothers. We could break their sieges on Felwith and Calathin. So it was in the Lesser Fadark that monsters met metal, dwarven metal. Arr! Did the trolls and ogres, what were they doing? Oh, stop, and then, okay. The monsters did their best to surprise our army, managing to divide our brigades, but they could not stop us. One of the bloodiest battles fought here was the Battle of Brute Hill. Well, that was where King Kazan Stormhammer and the Ogre Brigade were encircled. But the Ogre Brigade would not end that day. Okay, so tell me about this Brute Hill. The fierce Ogre Brigade was outnumbered 10-1. The other brigades had their own battles and could not reach them. Death was certain. But King Kazan Stormhammer used the mighty Stormhammer, the great weapon bestowed to him by Brel Cyrillus. And with a mighty rumble, the powers of the underfoot shook and quaked. The ground claimed our foes, and the march continued. It sounded like he had, I don't know if you ever played, there's that big like hammer that you can use in Valheim, and it just rattles the ground. So they managed to reach Keladin and rescue the city. Yes, the brigades reached the greater, and then battles would abound throughout the land of the Wood Elves. Dwarf fought alongside Elf against the Dark Elf army of Dreadguard and Crushbone orcs. During many skirmishes, the Dark Elves set fire to the forest. This became known as the Fires of the Fadark, the final battle. Now, so far, it's just been the top line of dialogue, but I don't want to mess this up and have to re-click through everything, so I am checking each time. The greater Fadark burned bright. Many platoons, both friend and foe, fell to the surrounding flames. It was a last-ditch effort of the Dark Elves. They knew they had been beaten, and they wished to throw a great dagger while passing through death's door. Regardless of the damage done, we were victorious, and Kelathin survived. What about Felwith, home of the High Elves? If it were not for the tick-tocking, puffing, and clanking army of the gnomes, I am sure Felwith would be part of the Dark Elf Empire to this day. The elite Dark Elf dragoons, led by their king, had captured Felwith. But the clockworks clambered over the mountain peaks that previously made the elven city and the clouds impervious to attacks. So, the gnomes and their machines freed Felwith. Yes, but when the contraptions of the gnomes come to the rescue, you are sure to take severe damage from their good deed. The clockworks toppled much of the grand city in the process. Still, they did liberate the city, and alongside the elite Coavai, they not only thwarted the occupation, but managed to slay the evil king Nathox Thex. Unfortunately, not before the dragoons slew the high king elf also. What a shame. What else occurred at the siege of Felwith? Now listen here. I am a dwarven historian. I cared little of the battles beyond the brigades. You are lucky enough to hear a bit about the Are you feeling lucky to listen to all this dialogue? I'm not feeling that lucky, but we're big lore masters now, so let's continue. Now run along and do something heroic. I would like to hear about Kaladin. Is that what we want to do next? Were there any significant dwarven battles? What? Were there any significant dwarven battles? Any dwarven battle is a significant one. It reminds me one time when I found a book in the library. Our librarian, so I brought it up to him, and the book was called America Online for Dummies. And I said, America Online is for dummies. You know, back when the cool kids, didn't use America Online, you just dialed up on your own. You didn't need anybody holding your hand. Yeah, it was kind of one of those snobs, right? How you can have a Coke snob or what's the other snob where you had the coffee place? Yeah, one of those Starbucks snob. I got to make my plug for Diet Mountain Dew every time. Now, if Diet Mountain Dew would like to sponsor a streamer who averages 0.8 viewers per hour, I'm your guy. All right, forgive me for my wording. Is that what I want to do? Yes, please forgive my wording. I just wondered if there were any dwarven historical sites nearby. Aye, the Battle of the Burning Roots. This great battle saw the union of the Bloodforged Brigade and the detachment of the female warriors known as the Sisters of the Aralosi. Together they fought, surrounded by flames and foes. Who is the Sisterhood of the Aralosi? Long ago, the Wood Elf warriors, known as Emerald Warriors, would not allow females in their ranks, so a number of female warriors left Kaladin to start their own secret training halls, far from the forest. Where was this place, kind sir? No one ever knew. An isle across the sea, I always heard. Over time, the female warriors began to worship the goddess of love, Aralosi Mar. It is said that the Lady of Love visited them often, sharing with them her secrets of war. Yes, even in love, combat must exist. These elven maidens returned to aid the ones that once suppressed their right to fight? The Sisterhood of Aralosi grew beyond their initial members. The bad feelings of the past were long cast away, and soon even the Emerald Warriors began to accept females into their ranks. The Sisterhood also accepted new members. Any female from any race was now allowed to challenge for admittance, provided they could find the Isle village of Tearfall. Well, how do you know all this, pal? My ancestor traveled alongside one of the sisters, and his tales were passed down. And he told his friends, And he told his friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. I believe his friendship was with one of the ancestors of the Queen of Kinos. I never heard of this one person before. Sheonia Bale. Now, do I get back to the battle? Yeah, let's get back to the battle. We're on dialogue 16 of 23. The Bloodforge Brigade and the Amazons rode fast to this place where gigantic tree roots arched high overhead. It was here, in Greater Fadark, that the forces of Crushbone worked feverishly to ignite the massive forest fire that would create the fires of Fadark, an event of which this battle is a part. Tell me more, did they put up a fight? When the dwarves and Amazon warriors arrived, they found themselves cornered by the massive blaze before them and the Crushbone forces building behind them. They were outnumbered. So, death was certain. How sad indeed. No. These are odds that the dwarven warrior appreciates. Like Lord of the Rings. These are the frays made for the hammers of the stout. These are the battles that call all to raise their steins and toast the glory of battle. Here stood the Bloodforge Brigade and the Sisterhood of Erolosi, an army smaller, but an army bolder than the entire orc race. Well, were they defeated? It was a day of victory. The Bloodforge Brigade held the line as the sisterhood of the traveling dwarves clambered up the massive trees to move about the branches like flying squirrels. Is that how you would compliment one of the sisterhood? You are as amazing as a flying squirrel. The brigade gave the Amazons just enough time to race through the flame and foe to stop the advance of the Orcish bonfire platoon that headed towards Kelethin. Did the Amazons stop the bonfire platoon? The Sisterhood met the bonfire platoon, losing half their ranks. They stopped the advance, but the Orcs had another bonfire platoon on the second side of the forest. Regardless, if the Amazons had not stopped one of the platoons, all of the Kelethin would have burned. So there. And then the Bloodforge Brigade perished. All, that is, save General Blyle's Bloodforge. I thought of that Lieutenant Bly, Private Bly. Remember the one that went blind in, I think, Saving Private Ryan? After that battle, there would never be another Bloodforge Brigade, but we honor their monumental effort at the Battle of Burning Roots. Where are we at? Oh, I got to say, could you... No, he doesn't want to tell me more about Kelethin. Where can I go? Oh, we're almost there. Where can I go? All right, you got to do more than honor them. You can serve them. I'm looking for volunteers to return to that old battlefield and scour it for any dwarven war artifacts. Return these artifacts to me, and you will not only honor the past, but serve the present. I like presents. And so I say, I will honor and serve. It's my left hand, but you get the point. So, the first thing I do is, I typically will read this text here, but we're not doing that today. I read enough text. So, I will accept that quest. Dun, 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 dun. So, I got to go where the Grozat buzz and their prowlers lurk. There you shall find the memorial for the Battle of Burning Roots. This is where the search for the dwarven artifacts begins. I shall return. Let's see if we have a blue dot for that one. Maybe not yet, but once we get off the platform, perhaps. Nope, no blue dot. And because we have no blue dot, then we are going to, what we basically are doing is we're looking for the monument here that we're going to sort of read or honor or clean or whatever they want us to do with it. Just got to get around the tree. It's a big boy. All right, looks like we're heading in the right direction. I wonder if this stuff should be gray at this point. Yeah. Is that it? That appears to be it. The battle at Burning Roots, where the Bloodforged Brigade and the Sisterhood of Aralosi proved their mettle in the War of the Fae. That's quite a little monument they built here behind a rock in the middle of nowhere. Here, the Dwarven Bloodforged Brigade and the Amazon Sisterhood of the Aralosi faced the burning hordes of the Crushbone Empire. On that fateful day, the lions of Dwarven warriors held fast while the Amazons climbed and sprang into action. Here they fell, in service and victory. Here is where we honor them. All right, now it's time to move. Oh, I gotta update my. I have indeed clicked the war memorial. Go back to refresh my checklist. There we go. Step 1 complete. Now I gotta scour the ancient battle site for Dwarven war artifacts. I can do that. I've been known to scour from time to time. Okay. Well, apparently they're around here. I don't know if they're shinies or what, but I still have the flowers and stuff. It wouldn't be one of these, right? These things are they're just dead. Yeah. It's not these mushrooms. No. There we go, right there. Dwarven. Let's get up close and see what we're dealing with. Dwarven war artifact. Collect. I got 1. 9 to go. Now, I'm not sure of the range of these things. There's one. I think the key is to look for the white text. Just run around and look for white text to pop up on the screen. I was reading about a guy that was doing this quest, and according to his recollection, he clicked 1 and got all 10 updates. Now, where's the fun in that? Wouldn't you rather around in awkward silence while I look for little white text? That would probably not be the best way to describe the next step. Run around aimlessly and look for white text. Yeah, that's not quite as glamorous as finding ancient exposed ore. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I didn't realize your ore was exposed. I'm hearing dogs approaching. The daily dog approach is he, do you understand that I'm a working man and I got streaming and such to do? Do you understand that's the way things work around this joint? Huh? That I'm a working man? And you know what working men do? They get things done. And you know what dogs do? They prevent things from getting done. Yeah, you're preventing things from getting done. And we got people that are waiting for the next step, which is click more white text on the ground. Collect more artifacts. All right, you good to go? You got your morning scratches in? All right, see you later. Bye. Now, the reason dog is my best friend at this time of day is if you're a dog owner, you know. Well, if you're a cat owner, you know too. They're hungry. And so then you're wondering, am I the only person in the house? No. But I'm a much softer heart for the doggies than my wife. They can eat when she's ready for them to eat. And me, I see those little brown eyes and I go, all right, let's go get some grub. So I think you understand, right? If you have a dog. I feel like I gotta put my last waypoint down. I don't even know if I'm in the same spot where I started. Waypoint over yonder in the pawpaw patch. Let's go yonder. I was quite a bit off of where I started looking for these artifacts. The problem is when you're 50, what am I, 59? When you're 59 and you're streaming, it's more like you're doing a hobby downstairs, right? You can do other things. I can't say, honey, this is my dream job. Now we have a white dog approaching. All right, come on up. Now look. Come here, white dog. The folks, I don't know if you want to. The folks who are enjoying my broadcast today are saying, where's the action? Yeah, they're saying, where's the action? We got stuff to do. Right. They're probably all cat people. They're probably bailing out faster than Titanic passengers. All right. Well, I took care of I've got the food softening. All right, so you can just move on. Go on your day. I got ancient dwarven artifacts to find, or whatever they were called. Two more things to click. I wonder if they would show up as harvestables. Let's see. They do. Look at there. Look at how much easier this would have been. Now, chat, if you know something I don't know, I need you to pipe up. Backseating is absolutely appreciated. And then I know you're there, too. I need to, if you happen to be watching right now and you're not following, that'd be really cool if you'd click follow, because I am trying to get to my 20 that I need to become affiliate. And I'm sitting at 13. Yeah, I need 20. So that would be pretty awesome. And nothing to worry, especially if you're a lurker. We're not going to have bells, whistles, and confetti flying down. If you press follow, it's all silent. Okay, honor and service. Let's go. We got to go back to old Captain Iron Toe here. But before I do that, because I took the 12 hours needed to create this thing, we're going to use it. There, we're updated that thing. Worth it? I don't know. I like to tinker around with things I don't understand at all. And I don't understand HTML and cascading style sheets and JavaScript. And so, and there wasn't a good solution out there. There really was no good solution to make an overlay. You would think Stream Elements would be a great place to go for a stream overlay. That wasn't the case. It could be, even though you have an overlay you can customize there, it's all the Twitch alerts, and you can just change the colors and move them around and stuff. So when I try to edit it and make it something completely different, it kind of works, but it kind of borks itself too. So, all right, we got to go back to Captain Iron Toe, and they're not going to remind us where he is. So, what we're going to do is we're going to head toward the village, and then we're going to look for a little book flashing on the screen. And we're also going to look for guards. All right, let's bring her on in. And touchdown. You've returned. Do you have any war artifacts from the Battle of the Burning Roots? Yes, here they are. Let me see. Yes, this all looks good. What? What is this here? This is not a war artifact. Hope I didn't pick up a chunk of horse manure or something. It does seem to hold craftsmanship from the past. Maybe it's a Timex watch. You know, those things last forever. What did you find? Well, look here. Can you not see the difference here? This little trinket here is formed of the finest dwarven designs of the past. I wonder if they had fidget spinners back then. Maybe it's a dwarven fidget spinner. It is crafted in this age. It is but a ringlet to a great design. The design of dwarven ringmail. What's a dwarven ringmail? It is only the finest armor to be worn into battle. Is he wearing ringmail? Yeah, I don't know though. Don't those shoulders look like he's wearing plate? Even the pants look like they're plate. Oh well, we're pushing up against the nerd zone on this one. So let me go back to the non-nerd mode. So anyway, he's just talking about this armor and that, couldn't this just be some plate mail saved from the past? I said it was the same design, not the same craftwork. This appears to be some other craftsmanship of dwarven design. This is not good. We cannot allow the secret of dwarven ringmail to fall into the hands of our enemies. I have heard of goblin bandits frequenting the memorial site. Perhaps they are involved. Well, goblins, they love shiny stuff, so that might be what it is. I can investigate these goblin bandits. Where might I find them? Reports have come in recently from a goblin presence in Echo Canyon. I want you to venture to this place and recover any evidence you can. Follow the trail of the lost design of the dwarven ringmail. I will search for the lost design. Farewell, ta-ta, Tarmel. All right, so we're going to go to the mushroom caves. I remember doing the mushroom caves the first time, and I'm going to tell you something. That is not like an overly large complex. I got so lost in there. Now I'm just trying to fly. Where's my little... Oops, I got to go right there, that way. Yeah, I was doing the little... I was another character. I was doing one of these goofy ideas people come up with where they do EverQuest. Imagine. Anyway, I was doing that, and I got into these mushroom, because I wanted to come and get the shiny collection over here, and there's a grub that you can get. That's not that rare, but it is one of the rares, and people were paying mucho dinero for it. All right. And so, being the young entrepreneur that I was, I decided I'm going to go get some grubs. I was grabbing grubs, saw a couple grayed out quests because they were well below my level, and I said, I will do EverQuest. Ended up in the shroom caves. Yeah. All right, it looks like I got the Echo Strongbox. I'm a little concerned about this. That there were going to be so many updates that we'll do that. Then that's all I would be doing is looking over and clicking update, clicking update, clicking update. See, I think I'm lost already. How do I get out of this place? All right. We're going to... If I go anywhere in real life, I get so confused about where I am. Is up good when you're in a mushroom cave? Oh no. Oh no. I should have brought some breadcrumbs. Get me out of here, for God's sake. Okay, good. Whoo. This would look bad if I was confessing my sins of the week. Pastor, I used the Lord's name in vain. Oh my goodness. Was it an emotional event that happened? Was there an exchange of... Yes, I was stuck in a mushroom cave. All right, well, now we're going to go to get the Orc Hill Strongbox. Caves, thank God that's over with. Another strongbox. There we go. An Orc Hill Strongbox. You know, this is not my zone. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going that way. No. I'll tell you the only reason that I'm doing this specific quest is I'm going to outlevel it, which apparently I have already, but I do think I have to go into Crushbone Keep. But the other thing is, of course, I have to do EverQuest. There's a strong box. Oh, look at that. It was a grumpy strong box. For clues. I need to... Is this a clue? No. Is that a clue? No. But I'm going to search the area for clues. Rats. And that thing wasn't... That is one. No. Okay. I knew I did that one before. Source of the sludge. So we have learned that rats are not clues. Is this gong? All right. They say that I need to find the... we're just going to keep looking. Hey, what's that over there? Attention. You know, it says attention. That must be a good sign. Attention. Now that the experimental strongbox guardian has been delivered, all soldiers are forbidden from loitering around the tent. If you feel as though you want to touch the guardian, precious, then please feel free to lose your hands by it, and then your head. Die by executioner. The guardian is impervious to harm. Only shrew dust can affect it. Now keep reading. Oh, we need some shrew. Say it with me, class. Shrew dust. The Dwarven ring mail formula will be delivered immediately. The location of the design will remain a secret only to the officers and spies that have gathered the information. Should I go kill officers and spies? The spies are ordered to watch over their designated sites at the timber bridge under the giant's nose. The spies nest overlooking Old Kelethin and the perch overlooking the Treant Grove Pass. After a week, they are to report back. Should you need to speak with them, signal with the gong. We saw the gong. It's right outside there. By applying the correct tuning discs, Tundar, Ukluk, and Ariel. I don't know what this stuff is. When this is done, they shall emerge at their post for only enough time to report. Note to the sentries, do not lose the tuning discs again. Do so, and you shall visit the dungeons of Crushbone. I think we'll be visiting the dungeons of Crushbone here at some point. All right, now we got these guys with feathers, so apparently that means they need to have a lunch break. Excuse me, gentlemen, but we are on the lookout for a tuning disc.
I should have trained harder. I should have trained harder.
Who doesn't want a tuning disc at this time of morning? And I could use one right now.
I should have trained harder.
All right.
Should have trained harder.
Signal gong tuning discs. Now, I'm going to guess that the next step is to click the gong. We're kind of zipping right through this thing. And you know, if you do know Heritage Quest, that somewhere along the line, they're going to give us something to do that requires us to invest some more time than this. Although it is a low level. Although, look, it is counting blue to us, at least. I mean, at least we got some flavor to it. And it is heroic, you see. So that does mean we're definitely going to end up in Crushbone Keep. All right. So I'm going to ring this gong. Bang a gong. Get it on. Why can't I have little song snippets in here? Because I would get copyright strike. And there is a spy waiting on the spy's nest overlooking Old Kelethan. I must hurry. I don't see a clock ticking. I mean, I could see that, right? If there was a clock ticking, then I better get my buns a-shaking, but I don't see any clock ticking. All right, we got to look for reddish sparklies. All right. So we're looking for reddish sparklies. Well, there is just a ton of notes here. And a ton of ads. You ever notice that? If you're on the wiki, it's like Ad Central on the Wikipedia page. I don't know where they want me to find these red sparklies. So we are going to head over. Oh, he's right in here. Is he in here? No. What in the? What am I even looking at here? I'm going to try this again. The waypoint I got was where the... Yeah, so the first Heritage Quest, there's a ton of them. I don't know about the upper level ones, because at some point, I wasn't doing the Heritage Quest at the very high level, because oftentimes Heritage Quest, if maybe not every time, there's sparklies. This appears to be some, perhaps orc spies frequent here. And I don't know that, it doesn't seem like that's an update, but maybe that means I'm in the right spot. I don't want to go into Butcher Block though, do I? Is this the... Okay, there we go. If he was aggro to me, that probably would have helped.
You're no match for a legionnaire.
All right. And then under the giant's nose, there's a spy waiting on the passageway to Butcher Black Mountains. They say don't go to Butcher Black Mountains. It did it again. It doesn't copy the first time. I don't have a blocker or anything on my browser. I think I'm the person that you heard about. I know. I have this one. Yeah. Does anybody know that song? They say don't go to Wolverton Mountain if you're looking for a wife. Because Clifton Clowers. Here I am. I don't see a giant's nose, though. Farther. Under the giant's nose. I have a waypoint and I'm still screwing it up. I remember back in my day, when we didn't need waypoints. I do remember a time when you'd have to wait for a magazine to come out that had the information in it.
You're no match for a legionnaire.
If you got stuck, you'd have to sit there and wait for a. Now along a branch, and then underneath Memorial Hill. Back in my day. Anybody have a grandpa like that back in my day? Maybe a grandma back in my day? Anybody to the point in their lives when you're the one saying back in my day? Like I just did? All right, I got one for you. Anybody go to a class reunion and look around thinking, oh my gosh, I look as old as these people? Hey, we're back to the Shrule dust. There must be a way to get a hold of some Shrule dust to use on the Strongbox Guardian. So, I got the spies. Now we're going to look for the Mushroom King. Speak to the Mushroom King. Here? If there's a Mushroom King, he'd be down here, right? Underneath? No? I recognize this. My expert skills have told me that, well, okay, the text does. But anyway, this is the Mushroom King. My name's EverQuest. Yeah, well, you better hold on to that name before someone steals it from you. They can't. As a matter of fact, nobody wants it. First, you and your name are all happy, and then some big fat prophet comes along in and persuades you to betray. Persuade it to end. All right, the last 3 seconds didn't just. Yeah, well, you better hold on to that name before someone steals it from you. First, you and your name are all happy, and then some big fat prophet will come in and persuade you to betray it. I have no idea what you mean by that. So, what's your name? I can't read the text. It's above your hat. Whoa. Who might you be, little trotter? My name's EverQuest. I think we've been through this. Yeah, well, you better hold on. Hold. I have no idea what you mean by that. So, what's your name? Okay, we're going to have this loop going, aren't we? They made it a heritage quest, not by adding content, but by trying to fool you with the quest dialogue. That stretched it out. Now, you really need to cheer up. What is the ivory patch? You had to mention the ivory patch. My lost kingdom, the ivory patch was the greatest mushroom patch found in any behemoth boneyard in the entire underfoot. I used to rule there. Oh, those were the days. Well, who took your crown away? Or should it be the other one? Nah, let's stick with the top one. A big fat lion rat named That. It started with a C, and then it had a lot of weird letters that really screwed up my tongue. At first, he played like it was just a friend, and then wham! He starts filling the caps. Oh, stuffed mushroom caps. Those are delicious. Of my kingdom with visions of a new order and order. I'd like to make an order of stuffed mushroom caps. Free from my monarchy. My life is no good. No good at all. No good at all, I tell ya. All right, well, could you tell me about this guy with the seat, I'm not going to bury myself deeper in my depression by mentioning his name again. Good, because I can't read it. I have not felt this less depressing in weeks. Less depressed. The shrew is going to turn his life around. All right, shrew. What's a shrew? Good. The world is waiting to find out. I am a shrew, fool. The whole kingdom of the ivory patch was shrews. Now I am nothing, and they are misguided. I'll never get them back. I'd have a better chance of gaining back by new subjects. Have you heard of shrew dust? Shrew dust? Don't look for it. It's bad stuff. It will leave you in the land of Terrace and Morel, in a land of dreams. I've heard of these shrooms in the land of dreams. It knocks most creatures out. What happens? And they end up in a rave, right? Most folks that happen to be sprinkled by it, except for us of the shrew. Mister, can I have some shrew dust, please? And a cup of flour. I'm making some... Whoa, easy little trotter. I said it was bad news. Yeah, but listen, I gotta have some. Perhaps I can help you gain your latest subjects. If I do that, couldn't I earn some shrew dust? Pretty please, with shrew dust on top. Hey, now you're chatting. I lost those little toadstools all over the forest floor. If you can pick them up, at least an armload of them, I'll be able to start over. Okay, I'll do it. What are we looking for? Oh, you need to scour the forest floor and find the toadstools. Okay, I can do that. And I got to go where the fayflies are. And I know that too. Because if I know anything, I know the land around this area. And I know how to click and paste. There we go. My expertise is paying off. It's not cheating. It's using the resources you have available for the task. All right, one problem. How the hell do I get in there? All right, little passageway, which I knew about. That was rhetorical. Of course, when there's no one in chat, everything you say is rhetorical, isn't it? Is that a thing? Yeah. So I wonder if I can either kill stuff for the dust, or clicky to click for the dust. It appears, no, I have to do both. To kill, period. To eat things that would make a billy goat puke. Well, Rambo was the best. Okay. Toadstool. Toadstool. Fayfly. And that one. And that one. And that one. And that one. Not all of them, though. Only some of them. Is this one of those things where... No, that's a trade skill shiny. And I don't want to pick it up. You know, I don't want to pick it up because then I'll have to put it on the broker. Or auction house for you World of Warcraft folks. And I don't want to do that. Why? Because platinum in this game has no meaning anymore. Here, just for science. Let's pick it up. It is an entwined leaf. Now we have this entwined leaf. We are going to open up our broker window, which we can do from anywhere since we're paying customers. We're going to open up our bags. We're going to drag it down here just to see what it's going for. And for bending at the waist and picking up that red shiny, I've got 1,000,000 plat worth of a leaf. Set price. Presets. 1,000,000 platinum. Now, we're going to check this out, because if it's a grub, it's worth bending at the waist for. No. Not. All right, more things and more shrooms. Oh, hey, boys. Hey, boys. Hey, we can settle this. We can... Oh, goodness me. So today is kind of a cleaning and a moving day still. But since I'm having lunch with a friend today, I'm kind of excused from the cleaning and the moving duties. And I'm also streaming. I would like to say that I'm streaming successfully, but it feels a little dead right now. And I think part of the problem is there are gray mobs. Like that's all we're getting is gray mobs, and I would at least have a little sort of risk involved. I mean, it's not going to be a lot of risk anyway, because, well, I'm a very capable and powerful character. You know. Hey, there's a toadstool. Can we do some swings? Why can't we see this guy? Accomplished fairy hunter. Does that go together? Do the two things go together? Accomplished fairy hunter? Maybe accomplished bully. You are an accomplished bully. You're killing these little cute fairies. Jack. I need 3 more toadstools. Choose wisely. Wisely, or you will get a turdstool. Because everybody poops. You ever read that book? I've read the book because I have kids. I also Taught second grade. We're going to see if this is grub. Spotted grub? Nope. I think we want the, like the fat grub or the grubby grub. Nah, I'm not picking up that ready. So we got that stuff. We're going to take this stuff back to the Mushroom King. Kind of like the Lion King, but a little more psychedelic. There's Mushroom King. For I am Mushroom King, Lord of the Riverbed. Why do I feel like singing while strolling through the park one day? In the merry, merry month of May, I was taken by... So, okay, we're here. This is probably because I am carrying an arm. Whoa, you smell like moldy boots. That's probably because I am carrying an armload worth of jittering toadstools. Huzzah. This may be the first instance of somebody hearing the rally cry, huzzah, from a mushroom. Toadstool stew, are you going to eat them? Why, sure. These little guys abandoned me like my first subjects did. I vow to lay down now, and the law says, lay the law down, and the law says, to stew they go. Was that the law talking, or my stomach rumbling? How about my shrill dust? Can I have it now? Of course, we were led to believe, and we inferred, right? But we were led to believe that we were going to go get these baby little shroomlings so he could start getting a whole new colony of followers. Because he had lost his kingdom. What about my shrill dust? Can I, please? Of course, Trotter. Here you are. Now, Trotter, do you know which book the character's name was Trotter? The Great Gilly Hopkins. I think Catherine Patterson wrote that. The same person that wrote The Bridge to Terabithia. Now hand those little toadstools over so I can get cooking. Now, where are those carrots and celery stalks? Maybe a little pinch of fay wings and maybe some... Yeah. Smell you later, pal. We got to get going. So now the next thing to do is to get this sprinkle the... Look how far along in this we are now. We are just cooking. Where's my little refresh? There we go. Updated, baby. All right, so I like the checklist. I do not like the extra tedium. Just kind of... It's why I was working on a solution. The solution was supposed to generally look good. Should be a font that'll look like you can actually read it in a VOD, because they really degrade these VODs quite a bit. And one of the things that I read that might help this artifacting that you see, even live, you see that artifacting, is to scale down my screen to match Twitch's. You know, I can't really take UHD down to 1080p and try to play like that. You know what this screen would look like? It would look like heck, man, I'll tell you. So I'm like, no, I got to play in the native resolution of the screen. It'd be a shame. You buy like, $800 monitor and then you got to scale it down so that it looks better on Twitch, and I doubt that it would. I think the scaling works just fine in here. The problem is Twitch has a limited amount of bandwidth that they can give, especially if you're not even an affiliate. So now I'm going to sprinkle some shrill dust on the strongbox at the Guardian camp. Okay, and I remember where that... I mean, that's not a big deal. We remember where that strongbox was in I do. But for those of you who may have forgotten or joined us late, we're going to go ahead and put a waypoint down. And I'm laying through my teeth. I totally forgot where it was, but there's very many dots on this map. All right, according to my memory and the arrow on the screen, I need to turn and go that away. It's just over the hill yonder there, sir. All right, thanks, Granddad. How old must you be if you use the phrase Granddad? Here it is, that strong box that bites. Sprinkle shrool dust. A little dash here, a little pinch there. And, all right. I should inspect the plans that were in the Strongbox Guardian. Here they are. Look at that. They look like a tinkering recipe. Examine. This looks to be the plans for the Dwarven ringmail. It appears to be scribed by orcs. Wow, we use words like scribed. The emblem of the Crushbone Empire is printed on the plans. As you open it, a note falls out. I shall read the note. Duplicates of these plans shall be dispersed among the 5 brigade warsmiths who are currently detached to Valley for extended training. An inferior Strongbox Guardian shall be included. Be sure to place duplicates for expedition officers within their locker boxes in the keep. Well, we can't have duplicates out there. Remember, we got to get these plans so that they don't fall into the wrong hands, and they have. We got to get them back to the dwarves. So I'm sure our next task is go get all those plans that we lost. Yep, first copy, second copy, third. You get it. I wonder where that first copy might be. Well, I will pick a random direction here. Perhaps I'll open a map up and get a better look-see. A gander. Now, how am I going to get there? Well, chat, as I watch my VODs, I'm very aware of something. I have a tendency to begin saying something, begin a story, begin making a, well, okay, I was going to say begin making a point, but yeah, there's not much point to anything I say. But anyway, maybe begin making a story, telling a story, and then I don't finish it. So, if anybody has been here long enough to hear the beginning of a story and not the end of it, perhaps you might type something in chat, such as, hey, you didn't finish that story.
You should run away.
And tell me what it was. Well, I take it back. That would require you. I know, I understand a couple things. Number one, I think I got raided a moment ago. And most people that are involved in a raid are annoyed because they leave right away, right? I mean, I've been sent. I get it. It's like you weren't watching me. It'd be like you go to a restaurant, right? And the over idea is you're at the restaurant because you want some food. You're hungry. And you're ready to consume. And you run out. You're eating your entree, but it falls short. Like you came in late and there was only a little bit left. And so you didn't get your full fill of the entree. And they just randomly bring you another food item. It's in the same category, but it's random. That's what happens when you're part of a raid in Twitch. Right? We watch who we like. And typically we're watching not because of the game the person is playing. We tend to follow people that we connect with in some way. Like you really want to like a bald-headed guy with blue reflective glasses who never moves his upper lip when he talks and never finishes the story. Like maybe that's what you like out of a streamer.
You're a fool to challenge me.
So anyway, yeah, you're listening to somebody and then and they're doing me a courtesy or whoever courtesy and they send a raid your way, which is absolutely essential for small streamers like myself. It is bread and butter. And if I ever had anyone watching me, I would probably send a raid somebody else's way that was streaming the game. But such problems, right?
You'll go no further.
Such problems to have enough people
You should run away.
in your chat to go raid somebody. I mean, don't you think? Like if you have 2 people, is that really a raid? Like raid? Think of the word raid. We're being raided by, okay, 2 people. But nevertheless.
No one may trespass on the lands of Clan Crushbone.
Anyway, that's my analogy. Life makes more sense when you can turn it into an analogy. And the point of me beginning that analogy was that I was sort of making comments like I would be offended. No, I didn't say them like I would be offended, but they may have been interpreted like I would be licking my wounds or feeling offended because people were sent in here via a raid and then they left right away. Like, no, that's the way it works, right? Found in the York Valley, found in the York Valley. So it's just a bunch of found in the York Valley stuff.
Time to die.
Time to die. Okay. He knew it was his time to die. And he told me about it. Preach, bro. As far as I know, I'm just going into all these things and I'm killing everything, but maybe not. Let me bring up the question. Well, yeah, okay. Why am I collecting a couple copper a piece here? All right, I need the second one. It's probably going to be easier if I just go by the numbers that I still need. Easier. I'm going to use a different word. More efficient.
You're a fool to challenge
I knew these guys would aggro me, so I just thought, let's just stop. Because I faced them in combat, and then it's just... All right, here we are. Hello, fellows. Party time, excellent. Open that journal again. We are going to, where are we at? Down here. We need 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Yes. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. These used to be random spawns. And when they would spawn in randomly, then you'd go here and you'd just wipe out the map and
Let me show you the high
I said map. You would wipe out the orcs in the area, and then they might not have had what you needed, and then you'd have to wait till they respawned. And it may have been the actual strong box that you needed. I think it was on 5th. There we go, 5th. So yeah, my son is moving back home. Should I be in here? I feel like I should. I remember doing a deity quest and I had to come in here. There's various other things that I had to do in here. It's on the way to Crushbone Keep. I'm sure there's many adventurers that are coming into the game, with the later content, and never even, because this is way off the beaten path.
To all who oppose the crossbone orcs!
Water. Was that the one I was looking for? No. Actually, the one I was looking for was farther along. Feel like I'm whispering. I mean, I'm wearing this, thing like chapstick, this thing, but I still feel like I'm getting too quiet. I forget to use my my teacher voice, my voice that projects. In real life, my voice is much more subdued. I don't know what the right word would be here, but
Death to all
there's much
who oppose
much less
the
deal in my
crossbone
voice in real life.
orcs.
So I revert back to that. I forget that I'm actually need to project my voice and enunciate. Okay, well, I'm just about... Okay, we'll take care of you, you son of a gun. Okay, there we go. Now, it looks like the 6th and the 8th are the two that are left. 6th is right here. Yeah, Heritage Quest #1 in the entire game. Heritage Quests are long. They're like extended versions of a quest. They tend to have some heroic element to them, so you do need at some point, unless you're over-leveled, over-geared, over-merked. Am I going back? I am. I bet number... Okay, hold on. Where's my little... I'm going through... Yeah, I see I have a quest popping up here. And that one is probably taking place in that place I mentioned earlier. Sometimes I get streaming, and then all of a sudden I'm like, dudes, I'm kind of hungry. So streaming is actually good if you need to lose weight. Because normally I would just walk over, get some cold pizza, and be yum, 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 yumming on it. But it's bad enough you got to put up with me swallowing every couple of minutes. I'm not going to... Hey, this must be... Maybe this is number 8 right here. And then we got our little pointer on number 6. Don't you talk about my little pointer. All right. I don't know why I grabbed that. Is it pronounced scythe? Do you say the TH in scythe? You see, I grew up, and I never heard anybody using the TH sound in that. I just heard sigh. So I always called... Should we find out? Should we learn a little something here this morning? It's called a learning moment, kids. When we are in school, we call it a learning moment. So we are going to get pronunciation. But now I have to spell it. Y-T-G. Proper pronunciation of this.
Scythe. Scythe. Scythe.
It is scythe, but I don't think anyone would even hear if you added that in there. We certainly can't hear when old Miss Mouth over there says it.
Scythe.
Sounds like scythe. When in doubt, you say the word very quickly, and you kind of cough partway through, and you pull it off like a champ. Scythe. Use the leader's key to open his locker box. Use the chef's key to open his locker box. Use the weaponsmith's key to open his locker box. Locker box. I feel like we're going to go into Crushbone. Yes, we are. We're going to go into Crushbone Keep. So we got the ring mail plans. We found all 9. But now, ladies and gentlemen, things are going to get scary. Well, maybe not scary, confusing. Crushbone Keep is really hard to get around. And when something is hard to get around, I get a little scared because I have no sense of direction. So things are about to get scary. Quit judging me. We are going to go. I already forgot where Crushbone Keep was. I know we got to go through that tunnel. But which way was the tunnel? Is that Crushbone Keep? No. This is Crushbone Keep right there. All right. Now, no, I don't need that. I just need a little waypoint deal. Here we go. Oh boy, here they come.
High power of the Crushbone Oracle.
Boy. Fly till you get to the tunnel. I can't fly once I'm in the tunnel. And I don't mean because I'm going to bang my head. I mean they actually, look at that orc up there. Wonderful. Anybody start watching like reaction videos? Like you find a song that you like, and then all of a sudden you want to watch people react to the song for whatever reason. Why? That's human nature. I don't know. And then there's people that act like they've never heard the song before. And you wonder, it's not even possible that you didn't hear that song before. Okay, now, boys and girls, not boys and girls, today, I'd like to react to a song you've all been asking about, and I've been putting it off, but today's the day. We're going to get to Mary Had a Little Lamb. Why is it pointing down there? Oh, I just randomly pointed to that. Let's go to the Crushbone Keep. They never made a fabled version of Crushbone Keep, apparently. I feel like when I go around in the game and I go to an old zone I haven't been in before, like the fabled option of it pops up now. And I typically will think, oh, I didn't know they made a fabled version of this. I wonder what level it is. And then I don't go in it. I haven't been in the last game update. I don't mean the expansion. I did the trade skill quests in there, but I have not been in that Dark Paw Den. I think it might have been the Dark Paw Den. It was something. See these other quests in here? I feel like I'd want to save a day for Crushbone Keep quests. Let's see, these are level 20. My plan is to let my experience, it is moving, you know. My experience is actually moving, which is pretty cool considering the hardest thing we fought was green. And I know I'm low level, but the thing is, we were killing green stuff. Okay. I do want to know, like, I'll explore this zone a little more deeply when I'm doing all the quests associated with it, but if you're looking at forward in the zone and 2 chests are on the right and 2 chests are on the left, okay, they didn't get it. It must be these. There's one. And it is just a 1-up mob too. Hey, let's see how much percentage we get. So we were at 60. Oh, they went back to AA. Why did they do that? That's why that line is so high. Show adventure experience. Oh, my bad. 100% my bad. Oh, my goodness. I gotta... There. None of my experience is going to AA right now. Anyway, I'm at 7.2%. We'll see what happens when I kill 3 1-up blues. It's actually flying up. I was getting like 3% each from those guys.
You're a fool, John.
19.4 to 21. And that was just for a linked. And then 23.4, yeah. That's lots of mozzarella. I thought this was it. Is that it? No. This is it. All right. They really weren't forcing me to go too deep into this. There is a quest where you get this shield up here, which looks great in your housing or the guild hall. Ugh, the font of Zek. Let's get a shiny, but not at the moment. I'm a little worried I don't have any of these yet. Crushbone Pawn Insignia. These are not shinies. They are known as cans of worms.
Crush! The lands of Clan Crushbone!
Yeah, so I was, anyway. See, I did abandon a story. I told you I would. It was the reaction videos. Well, maybe I did play that one out. I got to some pointless, corny joke at the end of it. So. Anyway, I wonder what your favorite one is. Because my favorite one to watch is Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence from the Conan O'Brien. The Conan O'Brien show version is by far, if you ask me, the very best version of Disturbed singing Sound of Silence. But I will binge on people's reaction to the song. But the one the last 2 days has been James Blount. Is that his name? Blount? His song Monsters. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I can't stop watching those. Okay. I'm going to take this back to Captain R.K. Irontoe. They used to call me Irontoe back in high school. There we go. There's nothing left but to claim the tunic, and we will have finished in an hour and a half. Now, bear in mind, this hour and a half could have been dwindled down quite a bit if I would have shut my pie hole. Or cake hole, depending on what you enjoy eating the most. I think I'd have a pizza hole, really, because although cakes and pies can be quite delicious, I find myself in moments of poor choices. It's generally at a slab of pizza in my hand, which is not like the worst thing in the world if you're diabetic, but I have type 2 diabetes. It's not the worst choice, but well, hey, let's face it. You got to eat especially if you're like me, where the numbers aren't perfect. If you're if I don't change my lifestyle much, then the numbers aren't overly good. But they're not, compared to somebody who's like full-blown has diabetes for years. My numbers aren't ridiculous. So my A1C is like 6.7 right now, but the problem with the A1C, even if it isn't like ridiculously, clutch your pearls high, the problem with it is the triglycerides go right up, and then you got issues. You got stroke to worry about. You got all sorts of heart disease to worry about. It's a real racket. And then the thing is with diabetes, if you don't have it, you're probably thinking, well, you just got to stay away from candy and pop. Those are the least of your worries, really. It's potatoes, especially deep fried ones. It's rice. It's anything with wheat in it. Any breakfast cereal. You might go get something that's like whole wheat and all this other stuff. It's still not like Is it Fruity Pebbles? No. But it's a real goings on. Okay, where am I going? I'm going to a Gifei. And I'm going to the Gifei, whatever the name of their village is there. Kelithan. Is it Kelithan? I don't even remember what it's called. Yeah. All right, where's my flashy? I'm looking. There it is. I'm dialed in. Have you noticed that lately you turn on the news and once a week there's some issue with some type of air traffic? And they always say, well, officials say you shouldn't. No, there's no need to worry. But at some point you got to go, okay, there's a pattern here, and it's not a good one. The moment we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to, well, you can't be ladies and gentlemen because that would require more than one person in chat, and that's never happened before. So, viewer, no, that's, people don't sit in my view. Someone might accidentally come across my VOD later on. We are about to reveal, or about to complete, our first quest of the day. Yes, I got it. I got multiple copies of the ringmail plans, scribed by the orcs. What's so special about this armor anyway? Molten metal from the rivers of Brel flowed into the underfoot of Norrath. This was long before even dragons had set foot upon this world. So it was formed with this metal? Eons passed, and the scales of Vishan descended upon Norrath. The great mother worm breathed upon the world to form her nest, but in doing so, she repelled the blessed flow of the metal below. What happened? The river of metal began to flow back to the planar realm of Brel, but as it did so, it left a gift to the dwarves of the world that would rise from below. As the river retreated, a sacred slag was left in its wake, and this slag would be Brel's gift to his children yet to come. What happened after that? Ages passed, and the dwarven kingdom came to be the hands of Brel. Deep under mountains he placed my people, his people. Before the Duke of Below would leave us to fate, he introduced us to two gifts formed of the first. And what did he make? He got the slag, and he formed a hammer to smite our foes, and a suit of ringmail to protect us. These gifts he left to the first. So then you blessed all other ringmail off of that first one. Yep. It is a gift I now grant you. Huh?
You just finished a quest. Oh yeah. Raise your sword up in the air.
Sorry for the volume.
Claim your
It's a little louder than I want it to be.
take a rest. In EverQuest, you are the best.
There we go. I've proven that in EverQuest, I am the best. And here it is. The great thing about this dwarven ringmail is that you can't see it because it's behind my overlay. Here it is. The great thing about the old dwarven ringmail is you can now park cars and drive dump trucks in your and not violate any OSHA code. Also known as the Flying T. How good is it, though? Let's compare. It's level 19, and I'm wearing level 20. It has 10 primary attributes and 10 stamina. The gear I'm wearing has 8 primary attributes and 8 stamina. That would make this better. How about the mitigation? 85 on the dwarven ringmail because it isn't played, and 161 on the stuff I'm wearing. I don't know that 0.8 strike through is a deal breaker here. Let's go to my character screen. Click on my chest here. 1% of all damage received by the caster is whatever. This isn't the most... This is not the greatest piece of armor ever created. This is what they have done to our Vanguard. This is master-crafted Fabled. This is the stuff that takes a big commitment with a trade skill apprentice and a rare item that's no longer in the game to create. And it's not that good. So, but I do get 10,000. Faction with the old Iron Toe Brigade. I would put it on as appearance gear, but that doesn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to head into Freeport. Yep, I already forgot where Freeport was on the map. There we are. We're going to go to Freeport. That's phase 1. Let's turn off our checklist. There we are. The next thing we're going to do is go to our guild hall. I can't believe I didn't complete the daily objective yet. I had to kill 8 different types of creatures as one of my things, and I still haven't done that. My guild name for this character is the Lost Order of Archivists. An archivist is a person who archives things. Since I am doing every quest in the game that I can find and I'm eligible to do, I am recording the lore of Norrath. There's my little Healy thing frozen again, too. I noticed that yesterday. Thought the game had locked up because my little plus 28 was just hovering. We're getting there. Okay. I will just sit still for a moment. I wonder how many of these things... I got these during the Dark Paw stuff. These 3, they were free on any given month. I wonder if I missed the other months or if there were only 3. If you're watching and you know, please let me know that. Over here are various things I picked up during various events, during various questing. That's a big one. Try to make them as big as I can. So if it's any plushie, and these typically are called plushies, I don't know why, because they're not really plushies. They're just character models, right? Here they are. There's already quite a few of them. I thought it would make sense to put this back, a trade skill thing back there to make that guy look like he's appearing there. I like this quite a bit. And that frozen thing. Yep. And then this, that was a neat model. They kind of changed things up from the model you're accustomed to seeing. So anyway, I do most of the events, the live quests, whatever you want to call them. Holidays. Oh, so we're in here because we're going to go put that ring mail in. It's the first one, but we're going to go put it in the trophy area. All heritage quest items can be examined to turn them into the trophy themselves. If you out-level it, or you just don't want it, or you don't qualify to wear it. So if I examine it here, then I can place it mounting on it. And it'll turn into something that I can use for displaying here. See, now it says that it can be placed on the floor. Place. And it's one of those crates. So this wall is my trophy room. I'll put it here because this side is for heritage quests. This side is for lore and legend quests. Voila. A lot of weapons. What if you had to equip that weapon to get the bonus, the mastery bonus for killing that thing? That would be a lot of... I was going to say horsing. I wasn't saying dicking around, but then I thought, well, maybe I can't say that. And then I did anyway, which... All right, now our favorite part of the game, the break that we didn't... The non-monetized break, also known as zoning. Also known as zoning. Okay, we made it. Here, let me show you how to be a bit more efficient at your trade. Get to work. Okay, no, that's not it. That would be rude. Okay, is there anything else I can do? Yeah, make me the same thing you've been making the last year. All right, I'm going to make a sturdy Leonoid basket. Here at my handy-dandy one-size-fits-all trade skill station. Oh, I think the word sturdy would probably bring it up. Sturdy Leonoid basket. Let's begin our process, kids. 1, 2, 3. I mean, more appropriately, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, and 6, and it is done. Ta-da! What trinket will you give me today? I'll add it to the other pile of trinkets. And I got chunk of fruit. Farewell, ta-ta, Tarmel. Thanks for nothing. Well, I think we'll probably, let's hope that we can transition into here a little faster than last time. Okay, that was faster. I did that. I think the next thing I want to do is I just want to get this daily objective off of my screen. So maybe Thundering Steps. Yeah, let's... it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. And then I just need to kill 2 different things. Maybe I'm not going to kill an Amazon. You kill those and then you get aggro to them. Like all of them, right? Because they have faction associated with them. So at some point you do have to kill them, or if you want the lore and legend things. But I'm never in a rush to get the lore and legend from centaurs because I don't want them to all be aggro when I'm trying to get quests done in here. Okay, we got the wolf figured out. And let's grab a bear. And I am level 23. Let's see what spells I need to upgrade. The strength one. 1625. So I only got one quest. I mean, one skill upgrade. It's Unholy Hunger. And let me just check if I'm researching any right now. I believe I did get one. Claim that. This is level 23. I think at level 24 I get my next, where I get to pick one. Let's go to L. Character development. Shadow Knight training at 24, but that one is not one I get to pick. I think I'm going to pick Blasphemy. I'm going to get aggro here. And the only reason I was checking that is to see which one I... So since Unholy Hunger is not on the list of things, and that's a pretty important skill, because it's a permanent buff. I'm going to upgrade it. And I think I'm going to take the lazy route, maybe, and I'm going to... And I had been working on Blasphemy, too, and then that's the one that's... Should I? Do I waste? How much do they want for me to go all the way up? 176 to bring this thing to Ancient. I'll just start researching it, and then I'll decide later. When you're at low levels and you're not planning on leveling very quickly, you might as well upgrade those spells as you go along. So, we finished that. Yeah, so what I really need to do is I need to decide if I'm going to, like, just go ahead and call it, because that'll be the end of this heritage hunt in honor and service, because I planned on doing one more heritage hunt. But I think I would prefer it had its own title and so on, and it would give me a chance to, check on the dogs and prepare for that, sort of maybe get the overlay ready to go. I don't even know if I want to do the overlay for that. I think the overlay for quests makes more sense, but for a heritage quest, I don't know that it brought much value to the experience, honestly, but because it's just tedious, to slow down and so on. So anyway, I have to decide, though. By the way, if anyone's just joining us for the first time today, and you might, if you would consider following, I'm trying to get to 20 followers, and because that's one of in order to get to the affiliate status, you need certain things, and when you're streaming a game like EverQuest II, although there aren't many channels, and maybe you're the only one, so you kind of get a viewer by default. The problem is the ability to get some followers is not very strong, but that it certainly is. It's appreciated. It's not expected. So I like when people say something like that. Oftentimes they'll be streaming, and of course they're being nice about it. I mean, it comes from a kind place. Would say, you're not required to subscribe or something. I think everybody knows you're not required to subscribe. Now, I'm not hinting at anything because I don't have a subscription button. So hey, I got a steel cluster. Griffon. I think when you go on Origins and you play this game, these Griffons are all like heroic. I'm kind of sure. I was talking about that the other day, like, because this is Maj Duel. It's just the live server. It's not Origins. And we were sort of talking about why you might choose to play in Origins or not. And I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? The essence of the conversation was that Origins is a good experience if you want to feel like, you're not behind. But it's already been around long enough where its population has gone down. I'm not saying it's a barren wasteland there, but the population has gone down, and the people that are there are actually at the next expansion. The Desert of Flames expansion. And so it's a little bit of a... Again, I want everyone listening to take this in context. The thing is, I'm not saying that you can't get in a small group, but what I am saying is it's going to take a little more effort than it once did. And if you're new to the game, you're probably not the person who should, try to motivate the crowd to get in a group. So, if I get to the point where I have enough of a regular audience, then I will certainly see if there's any interest. But when we have no 0 to 2 people watching at a time, it's hard to rally a bunch of people and say, hey, should we go over to Origins and just do a low pressure, leave if you want to type of group thing? Because that's what it came down to. Is we weren't on Origins mostly because the group, and if you did get a group, then you would feel compelled to stay in that group. And if real life interfered, you get it, real life. And then do you leave the group and just apologize? Do you just leave? Do you go on auto follow and just siphon up everybody's XP that they're doing for you and not contributing to the efficiency with which you're going through the zone? There's so many things to consider. And so, having done that, having done groups for a long time, and being out of practice in groups, and then that expectation of participation, that's why I'm here. Doing stuff that's green and gray to me is I just don't want to inconvenience people who are enjoying their time on the Origins server. Well, this is the time where I wish I had some witty saying, that little catchphrase to use at the end of my stream, but I don't. So what I'm going to say is, you take care. Take care of yourself. Take care of people that you love. And treat the people that you love as though you'll never see them again, because sometimes, in some cases, some story, and we never know if it's our case, we may never see them again. And that's not a doom and gloom, sadness, depression type of a comment. That is a take a look around and take it all in and enjoy everything you have around you, because there's some pretty cool stuff going on. And the world can get pretty loud sometimes. And when it does get loud, it's usually not screaming about great stuff. It's usually screaming about stuff that'll get you if you listen to it too long. And some of it is pretty loud. And so what I'm saying is, before I sign off, and I'd like to just leave you with a little gift, and that is, treat people as though it's the last time you get to see them. I think your interaction will be really good. Unless you don't like them and you tell them off, because, that's something you've been wanting to get off your chest. And you don't want to lose your chance to, oh boy, that went south.